Whether he likes it or not. Uh-oh. And I just get you to say what you had for breakfast.
I haven't had breakfast.
What was hilarious about this, you know, we had our family reunion. Sorry, not looking at the camera.
No, sorry.
Maybe you worked out that way because I didn't raise you that well. So you're more self-sufficient and, you know, doing your own thing.
1 second.
I don't know what else I have to say. What I do for a living.
I really hope the sound's going to be okay with all that rain.
I was born and raised in a world filled with theatre, music and politics by a Dutch mother and a Meriam Yidinji father. He was considered to be one of the trailblazers of black theatre in Australia. Growing up in that environment, I developed a love of theatre and music, so now perform professionally for a living. I remember how much fun it was when we were young and Mum and Dad would take us up north to Queensland for our holidays. We'd all pile into the car and go up and visit our rellos, Dad's brother and sisters and all our cousins, and there was just so many of them. Years have gone by and we've been talking about having this Maza family reunion for more than a decade. So when I received my invite, I was very excited. The Mazas up north were making this happen and I knew it was going to be great. I looked at the schedule and saw that we'd all be entertaining ourselves with an open mic night. But what made me laugh was what it was called, and I just couldn't go past that name. Mazas Got Talent.
My name's Ari. Ariel Mazalong. I'm 15. My mum's Rachel.
Hey, I'm Rachel Maza, Bob Maza's eldest daughter. I'm a proud Yidinji woman and Meriam woman.
I'm Johanna Maza, I live in Melbourne. I am one of 9 children. Bob Maza's youngest daughter, second youngest child.
My name is Vera Blankman and I'm the parent of four of the Maza children.
Talent is like...
Talent, that is... It's very hard, I think, to say what talent is.
What is talent?
When I talk about talent, it's about people have a specific kind of skill.
like singing, dancing,
People kind of talk about it in regards to being creative a lot.
writing stuff like poetry and songs or scripts.
Is talent something when you get public acclaim, when you end up in the media, is that then talent?
When we turned up at the Gurrudunga Hall on that first day of the Maza family reunion, we saw a whole lot of tents being set up. There was this big hall, a marquee, there was a jumping castle for the kids to play on, and there were tons of people. Many of my cousins were there, and of course many nieces and nephews who I'd never even met.
The way we talk about talent is skewed. It is actually not healthy. You know, that only these special people who've had the 10 years training are allowed to have that, you know, that space. That's only they're allowed to sing. And the rest of us go,
Well, everyone has a judgment, I suppose. People sing and everyone has a judgment about whether they sound good or whether they don't sound so good, but everyone has a different opinion.
Some people are just more talented than others.
Nose.
What's this?
Eyes.
What's this?
King. Here. Here.
Let's see what this song's. Ah, that's the what's this song? Okay. Yeah, so this is called Sophia's.
What's this song?
What's this?
So what is my talent?
Do you have talent?
Oh, look, that.
My talent. Oh, well.
Am I talented in my job that I actually do every day? I suppose I never even thought of it like talent like that. I suppose is social work a talent?
But do you think you're talented at raising children?
Oh, for God's sake. No.
Do you have talent?
I think so. Yeah.
I must believe that on some level, otherwise I wouldn't be doing what I'm doing. But, you know, yeah.
My daughter, Sophia, who's almost 2, if I was going to kind of look at her and, I mean, you think your child, you know, the world is their oyster and they can be good at anything. So you kind of, you know, I'm, you know, getting pencils for her and art and painting with her and buying her, you know, little musical instruments. And so just sort of letting her explore all that stuff and so she can figure out what she likes and what she's good at.
Well, last night I'm watching, you know, Joe's Sophia, and if we're some supposedly decent parent and kids need to go to bed in a certain hour and all that stuff, well, she would actually be missing out on the whole musical experience, which she was actually fascinated by, watching everybody, hearing it all, you know, instruments, voices, and I think that's all very important. That's your environment.
Without a doubt, the influence that growing up in this world of performing arts, music and theatre has had a critical effect on the decisions that I've now made in my career. Like, for instance, those very early memories of you and me, you know, at any family gathering, it was, come on, Rachel, Lisa, get the guitar out, and singing and performing for family and friends. That was huge. That was huge. That was so much about building your confidence as in your art and the role that you play as an artist in the family group.
Yeah, I'll go. It's still on the stove. I'll bring it out. Yeah.
You better grab it.
Come on, you spot that? It's right over the hill. Oh, don't be shy of me, Dad. You're all one more here. Come on, let's just do that
There wasn't many people that performed.
We haven't seen each other in a long, long time, so there was, you know, it's weird. You're embarrassed to get up.
Years ago, I think, at an occasion like that, there would have been many, many more people getting up and wanting to do something to show their talent with songs or whatever, and, you know, stuff like that.
And because no one really got up, then no one got up.
I think, you know, television, all that stuff, that didn't exist years ago. So people had to entertain themselves, sing their own songs and make their own entertainment.
while we were up there, I had it in my mind, I was like, we have to go to Harvey Creek. It was really nice to kind of be there where Dad is being, you know, laid to rest. It's on Grandma's country, you know, our traditional land, so it's so special. It's a beautiful place to go and remember Dad.
Well, what does being a Maza mean? I mean, it makes you even ask that question when you, say for instance, when I was getting married, do you change your name? And at that point, you know, do I take on the name of my husband? I was like, and give up the name Maza?
I know, it's so funny. You kind of cling on to the Maza name, to your surname, especially as a kind of a woman in this modern world now. It's kind of a lot of us, we keep our surname.
That was what stopped me. It was like, oh no, Maza. I'm not going to give that up.
We have such a big family, and just kind of finally, you know, it's clear in my mind who's who in the family, and I heard some great stories about our grandparents that I never knew. I suppose you learn about your identity through those stories, and like, through the story of Wagwan being a fighter and being, you know, resisting being oppressed, really. He fought for what he believed in, and he was a strong man, and, you know, he had a hard life, and so did our grandmother. You know, it was a hard time. It was a hard time to be an Aboriginal person or Torres Strait Islander in Australia. So they had to be strong people, and they did an amazing job. So, of course, you're proud.
My son, this school that he's going to, encourages music as an important part of your development, your self-expression. So that's hello. If you think about it, everybody in you know, traditional times or whatever, or community villages or all Indigenous peoples of the world, you don't even question it. Everybody sings, everybody dances, everybody knows their stories, and it's only this culture that silos them. Oh, I'm a singer. Bullshit. Everyone's a singer. And that's the world you really want your kids to grow up in. And then if you want to talk about talent, then it's not about being the best or being this special, unique thing that no one else has got. It's like, no, everyone has the capacity to be able to be a part of that.
You're good enough for me. Cycle.